The True Story by an Unknown Sender. The Gas Station Encounter. I had been driving for hours on a lonely stretch of highway when I realized I needed gas. It was past midnight, and the only light for miles was a flickering neon sign from a rundown gas station. Desperate, I pulled in, feeling a strange sense of unease. The place looked abandoned. The pumps were old and rusty, and the windows of the small convenience store were grimy. I got out of my car, the cold night air sending shivers down my spine. As I started pumping gas, I noticed a figure inside the store, watching me. It was a man, his face obscured by shadows. I tried to ignore him, focusing on the task at hand. But then the lights inside the store flickered, and the figure was gone. My heart pounded as I quickly finished pumping gas. I wanted to get out of there as fast as possible. Just as I was about to get back into my car, I heard the store door creak open. The man stepped out, his face now visible under the dim light. He was tall, with a gaunt face and hollow eyes that seemed pierced through me. "Need anything else?" he asked, his voice low and gravelly. I shook my head, muttering a quick, no thank you, before getting into my car. As I fumbled with my keys, I saw him slowly walking toward me. Panic set in, and I struggled to start the engine. Finally, the car roared to life, and I sped out of the station, not daring to look back. Relieved to be back on the road, I tried to calm my racing heart, but after a few miles, I noticed something that made my blood run cold. A pair of headlights appeared in my rear-view mirror, getting closer and closer. It was the man from the gas station. I pressed harder on the gas, but he matched my speed. The highway was deserted, and there was nowhere to go. My mind raced with thoughts of what he might want, or what he might do if he caught up to me. Suddenly, my car began to sputter. The engine was dying, and I was losing speed. I pulled over to the side of the road, my hands trembling. The man's car pulled up behind me, and he got out, walking slowly toward me with a menacing look in his eyes. Desperate, I grabbed my phone, but there was no signal. I was trapped. The man reached my window and tapped on the glass. "Need a hand?" he asked, a sinister smile creeping across his face. I shook my head, trying to keep my voice steady. "No, I'm fine, just a little car trouble." He leaned in closer. "At this hour? On this road? Not many folks around to help." Before I could respond, I heard the sound of another car approaching. A pair of headlights appeared in the distance, getting brighter. The man stood up straight, glaring at the oncoming vehicle. As it got closer, he turned and walked back to his car, giving me one last, chilling look before driving away. The approaching car turned out to be a state trooper. He pulled over and asked if I needed help. I told him about the man from the gas station, and he offered to follow me until I reached the next town. I gratefully accepted, and the rest of the drive passed in tense silence. When I finally reached the safety of a well-lit town, I thanked the officer and checked into a motel for the night. I never found out who that man was or what he wanted, but I learned to trust my instincts and never stop at deserted gas station again. The memory of that night still haunts me, a terrifying reminder of dangers that lurk in the most unexpected places. I barely slept that night, every noise outside my motel room keeping me on the edge. The next morning, I felt a little more rational and decided to get my car checked out at a local garage. As the mechanic looked over my engine, I went to a nearby diner for breakfast, hoping a hot meal would help me calm down. While I was drinking my coffee, I overheard a conversation between two truckers at the next table. They were talking about a series of strange incidents along that highway I had been traveling. People had reported being followed and even attacked by a man fitting the description of the one I encountered. Feeling a chill run down my spine, I interrupted them to ask for more details. They told me that several people had gone missing after stopping at that old gas station, and the local polices were investigating, but they had no solid leads. The man had been seen numerous times, always at night, always targeting lone travelers. I decided to head back to the police station to share my experience. The officer I spoke with took my statement seriously and added it to their growing file of similar reports. He advised me to be cautious and assured me that they were doing everything they could to catch the suspect. I left the station feeling a mix of relief and lingering fear. As the days turned into weeks, I couldn't shake the memory of that night. I took extra precautions when driving alone, avoiding remote areas and ensuring my phone was always fully charged.